Hello again, my name's Tony Hilliard. Today I'm going to show you a very simple top tip on a VW T4 van. I recently replaced the starter motor on my T4. She's a 2001 with a 2.5 litre 5-cylinder turbo diesel engine, the ACV engine. Needless to say, after I'd installed the starter, a friend of mine happened to mention he'd been talking to a German fellow who used to work for the German post office. Apparently, when the German post office used to take delivery of a new T4 van, one of the first modifications they would do is fit a large washer each side of the terminal on the positive, where the positive cable bolts to the starter solenoid. They had found over the years the starter motor would prematurely fail. They tracked it down to a very small contact area where the positive cable bolts to the solenoid. Obviously, the high amperage and the small contact area was burning out the starter solenoid. So I decided to do a bit of preventative maintenance and pass this tip on to everybody else. Let's see how we get on. This is the old starter motor that I took off my van. We're going to use this for demonstration purposes. The connection we're interested in is on the solenoid. We're going to put two washers, put one washer on first, put the cable on, and then we put the second washer on and tighten the nut up. So close up of what we're talking about. Where the screwdriver is, that's where the cable's going to fit. First thing to do is to disconnect the battery for safety's sake, so we don't want any shorts. 10mm spanner, undo the little nut, lift the connection off the battery and tuck it right out of the way so it can't short out. Underneath the van we want to remove the undershield. There are two small nuts to the back, there and there, and we want to 10mm spanner to take those off. Each side of the under tray we've got two nuts each side. 13mm socket takes those off. Now the right hand side. And behind the bumper in the middle there is a spring clip. You just pull that back and the under tray folds down. Very clever. Looks so simple, but a very clever idea. That is the connection we're interested in, where the cable comes down and joins the solenoid. Close up, make it a bit easier. 13mm spanner, undo the nut holding it all together. Lever the connection off. Because there's such a tight bend on the cable, it's a bit difficult to get off. Right, put our first washer on. As I say, it's a very simple modification. Put the cable back on and put the other washer in place. Put the nut back on. I say it couldn't be simpler, but to save so many problems later on with bad connections, and if it's not going to start, it's always going to be in the dark in the rain somewhere, so it's worth taking the effort. Make sure that's really tight, otherwise it's going to completely defeat the object. There we are, close-up shot. That's what it needs to look like. Washer each side, battery connection, clamp between the two.
put the cover back on, put all your bolts back in.
Well, I hope you found that useful. Until next time, cheerio.